Thank you for tuning in to my very first YouTube video. I'm super excited to be doing this. I wanted to make a YouTube channel for a long time and I finally got around to doing it. So I just want to say thank you to everybody for checking me out. What we're going to be talking about today are the pros and cons of living in Naples, Florida. Now, I just want to put this out there before we continue. I'm not a real estate agent. I am not affiliated with any realty company. I'm not trying to sell anybody a home. I moved here from Manhattan, New York to Naples, Florida a year ago. When I was looking to make that move, I would be on YouTube for hours and I'd be watching videos on what it's like to live in Tampa or St. Pete or Miami, Fort Lauderdale, all these different places. And every single video that I would come across would be a real estate agent who is affiliated with some realtor company and they're giving you their pros and cons list. And I always had to take everything they said with a grain of salt because I know they're trying to make a sale at the end of the day. They put their contact information in there because they want to get a sale, they want to get a client so they can sell a house. I was always a little bit careful and skeptical of what some of these videos are saying. And I just wanted someone who is a local person who moved from one place to another and is giving me their unbiased review. And that is exactly what I'm doing. And I think this would be super helpful because all the people who have been moving here to Florida these past few years from the Northeast, I think this would be super helpful because I myself moved from the Northeast a year ago, from a place like Manhattan. So I think this would help out a lot of people who may be undecided. And this is just my own opinion of what I think about living in Naples after 1 year. So without further ado, let's get started with the cons. It is expensive to live in Naples. Now, Naples is known to be a pretty ritzy type of place. And it's kind of true. It's pretty expensive to live here. Apartments are expensive. And with everything going up, with groceries and gas and just the cost of living, it makes it even more difficult throwing in that rent in there. And not to mention, Naples, and not just Naples, but Florida in general, does not have the best salaries. They're quite low, and Naples doesn't have the best job opportunities. So it makes it kind of difficult to get by. And what really is unfortunate is that you're living in this great paradise and sometimes you can't even take advantage of all your surroundings because you're working 2 jobs just to pay the bills. So it makes it kind of difficult and rough. So if you're looking to move here to Naples, just kind of understand you may take a hit in your salary and you may have to work a job or 2 depending on what your situation is looking like. So it's something to be mindful of for sure. Naples is known to be a snowbird community. So with that being said, a lot of people here are older, and not just Naples, but all of Collier County, which is the county that Naples is in. Collier County itself has a median age of like 55. So it is an older demographic here. So if you're looking for young singles or young professionals, it's not the best place to do that. If you're looking for nightlife, there's only a few places in Naples that have that sort of poppin' nightlife. Otherwise, it's not that busy of a place for that. A lot of people will go to Tampa or Miami for nightlife because Naples doesn't really have a whole lot to offer in that department. When it comes to things to do and activities, there are definitely things to do, but it's not an endless list of things to do. You know, you may find yourself doing the same thing once. It's just not as much that's available and offered here because, again, it's just an older demographic of people who come here for retirement or they're only here for part-time and they have a home somewhere else. So you have to remember that Naples is practically in the Everglades. So you're gonna encounter a lot of different creatures. You're gonna have gators. There are crocodiles that live in the Everglades too. I learned that on a boat tour in the Everglades. So you have alligators, you have crocodiles, you have the Florida panther, you have the Burmese python, you have poisonous cane toads, you have salamanders, different kind of bugs, black bears. You have to remember you're living in their land. So it kind of becomes just a something you deal with, I guess is the best way to put it. The weather here in Naples is hot. It's hot year round. We don't have 4 seasons, we only have 2. That is a dry season and a rainy season. Dry season is from around October-ish to May-ish, and that's when it's sunny every day, doesn't rain, it's dry. Sometime in May to sometime in the beginning of October, that's rainy season. And that's when it rains pretty much every day. Now that scares some people because they hear rain every day, so they think it's a washout every day. That's not how it is. It's sunny, it rains, it's sunny again. So it normally rains in the afternoon, so just don't make plans in the afternoon because there's a good chance that you may have to cancel those plans. Always have an umbrella with you in the car. No matter where you go, don't forget it, with that sunscreen as well. So that's why I would say the weather would be a negative, and I think it really depends. Some people like it, some don't. I'm putting it as a negative right now, but it depends on the person. If you don't like the heat, and you don't like the humidity, and you don't like the rain, then Naples is not for you. No other way to put it. Now, traffic isn't as bad as New York. Not going to compare traffic in Naples to the FDR in Manhattan. It's completely different. However, the infrastructure in Naples isn't able to hold the amount of people that live in Naples. And with more people moving in every year, it makes it even more difficult. So roads get backed up, and with the drivers here, the drivers are bad drivers. So you have to deal with packed streets, bad drivers, and during busy season, it gets 10 times worse. On the roads, in the restaurants, crowds of people. So it's just something to be mindful of during the snowbird months. And the snowbird months, just to add that in, are from around January to, I would say, late April, early May. So those are all the cons. Now we're gonna get into the pros of living in Naples, Florida. So I said this as a con, but I also included it as a pro because, like I said, it depends on the person. Me personally, I consider it a pro because I like the heat. I don't mind the humidity. Here in Naples, the coldest days you'll have will be in the 60s, and it's only for a few weeks throughout the year. Otherwise, it's pretty much beautiful year round. If you do like doing outdoor activities, then this would be the perfect climate for that because people are always going out doing things. And I do think that the weather affects people's mood because when it's cold and it's dark and it's gloomy out, people kind of get depressed. People kind of just want to stay in. They don't want to do anything. I believe it affects people's mood. But when it's sunny out, people want to go out, they want to do things, they want to stay in shade because they're not covered up all the time. I definitely think that the weather plays a big role in people's mood and behavior. And here in, not just Naples, but in Florida in general, people are always out doing things. So it's a great way to get out there, to meet new people, and to stay fit if you're part of that lifestyle. So definitely a pro in my book. Naples has some of the best beaches that you can find in the state. We're on the Gulf, so the Gulf is very calm. If you like waves, unfortunately, you're not going to find that unless a hurricane's coming. So the waves will be on the Atlantic coast. The Gulf is going to be pretty flat for the most part, but the water temperature is pretty fantastic. The sand is like a white powdery sand. It's very relaxing. It's a little more quiet and laid back. I think that the location in Naples is one of the best locations in the state. You're an hour and a half from Fort Lauderdale. You're under 2 hours from Miami. You're an hour from Fort Myers, 2 hours from Sarasota, around 3 hours from Tampa or St. Pete, and around 4 hours to Orlando. So you're in a pretty centralized location. And the airports too. I mean, you have major airports. You have them in, you have one in Fort Myers, Punta Gorda, Fort Lauderdale, Miami, Sarasota, Tampa. If you like to travel, you have airports that are not too far driving for you to get to. I would say the only downside of Naples, as far as where it's located on the map, is that if you do want to leave the state driving, it takes about 6 hours just to leave the state driving. At least 6 hours to get to the Georgia border, because we're way down there. Now, restaurants, it's not like New York. You're not gonna find an Ethiopian restaurant down the corner from you. It's not gonna happen. However, I will say that a lot of the restaurants that I have been to here in Naples have been pretty good. I've been pretty impressed with most of the restaurants. I think there's a wide variety of cuisine that you can find here, and the quality of the food has been pretty good in my opinion. If you're a foodie, then I think that Naples has some good selections to choose from. Now, the pace of life here in Naples, Florida is more laid back. If you're looking to get away of the rush and the hustle and bustle of a big city, then Naples fits the bill. It's more laid back, it's quiet, it's more of a beach vibe here. So those are my pros and my cons of living in Naples, Florida after 1 year. You can watch as many videos as you want. And I think watching videos are helpful because it gives you an idea, but you have to actually go to the place that you're interested in and spend maybe a week there to see if you could actually see yourself living in that place. So if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. I'll be sure to answer any question that's left in the comment section. Please like this video and please subscribe. I'll be doing more videos in the future too about different vlogs, about going to different cities in Florida. So just have a whole bunch of things that I want to be putting together to put out there for you guys. And I'll be coming to you guys with more useful, helpful videos. I'll see you guys next time.